Trash bags over urinals and limiting students in bathrooms and locker rooms to the number of stalls. A new policy implemented this week by the Milford School Board.
You ever wonder if there's a limit to the stupidity that we're going to have to deal with in our modern society? Or do you think it's just going to accelerate throughout now till the end of time? And every day we're just going to have to look at the news, realize that's absurd, realize that these insane changes that don't help anybody are being done on behalf of the smallest minority where there's no problem, or there should be no problem to begin with. And then we're all just supposed to repeat the process over and over and over again till the end of time. Well, today is one of those stories. Today, a school out of New Hampshire decided that in the name of the Tranzez, they needed to make all their bathrooms gender neutral. And because they have to be gender neutral, they've decided to cover all the urinals with trash bags so that people won't use them. Because obviously, for the one maybe Tranzez person at the school, this was the only viable option in order to accommodate them. Now, this story is so stupid, it's so insane, we're gonna talk about it, but the video is sponsored, so I'm gonna toss it to the sponsor, come back over here, and we'll talk about it on the other side. Noble Gold Investments is proud to let you know that gold was among the best investment classes in 2022. Whether it was stocks, real estate, crypto, gold outperformed them all. So what are you waiting for? Go over and visit noblegoldinvestments.com. They've helped thousands of people buy physical gold, and they're offering precious metals IRAs so you can help hedge your retirement against inflation. And if you sign up for a qualifying IRA, you will be gifted a 1/4 ounce American Eagle gold coin. It's absolutely wonderful for your collection and your hedging against inflation. Call them at 877-646-5347 or visit them at noblegoldinvestments.com.
None of us actually asked for any sort of change. The whole issue arose from something that happened at the middle school.
A heated meeting Monday night brought forth a proposal to change the district's bathroom policy.
You know how many times I checked to make sure that I was not reporting a parody story when watching this footage? How many times I decided to go to the website of this local news agency, find the segment and the accompanying article with it, to be assured that this was actually a real thing, because apparently people that are adults, that are allegedly sentient, thought it would be a good idea in the name of gender equity to put trash bags over the urinals, because in order to make a bathroom gender neutral, you need to not have urinals,
which allows students to use whichever bathroom aligns with their gender identity. The proposal would require them to use the bathroom associated with their biological sex.
I've actually suggested a few times that we just make all of the bathrooms single use. People argue that all of your bathrooms at home are unisex, and we've never had any problem.
Now, apparently, this parent right here, because a lot of people have pointed out that this has been done due to the complaint from one specific parent, might actually be the source of the change, because the reason why they're covering all the urinals is because essentially they've made it so that all the bathrooms in the school are neither male nor female, they're gender neutral, and as a part of that gender neutrality, they're only letting people into the bathrooms to use an individual stall, and that means no more urinals, because how dare you want to stand up and pee? There are people who want to be gender neutral or whatever.
I've actually suggested a few times that we just make all of the bathrooms single use. People argue that all of your bathrooms at home are unisex, and we've never had any problem.
Now, to be clear, to make my position well understood, I actually think that among the many issues that have to do with the Tranzez, the bathroom one is actually the most overblown of all. Anybody who knows any woman knows that occasionally, when the line is too long for the girl's bathroom, they'll typically go in and use the male bathroom, and I actually don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I think you can kind of let people police themselves in this regard. Obviously, you don't want to have people victimized and all that, but if you put up the sign for male and female and then you let people go where they want to the certain extent, the overwhelming majority of people in a school, students, will go to the appropriate bathroom, and if a situation arises, you address that situation then and there. However, where you have actual issues are with locker rooms and changing areas and places that are actually specifically designed to be same-sex or single-sex usage. I think those are where the issues come in, and that was what becomes an issue. For instance, a lot of people who do athletics, they end up having to shower, and that's where you run into problems. But for the most part, the bathroom issue itself does not seem to be a primary thing.
Superintendent Christy Nisho says the district is working to come up with a compromise, but that's easier said than done. One thing they're looking at is floor-to-ceiling stalls, but there would be some hurdles.
I mean, seriously, what is more sensible? Focusing on issues like locker rooms, sports, and all the things where the distinctions between male and female are incredibly important, or letting these idiots end up progressiving in themselves into banning urinals and remodeling every bathroom in the school, all for the likely one Tranzez kid that exists at the school who's probably not even a real Tranzez. Again, I need to remind you that this is less than 1% of the population. They're making all these changes based on the kids who are more into the trend of saying that they're non-binary or whatever. It's going to cost millions of dollars, and it doesn't make any sense at all. Not to mention the fact that you can't use the bathroom if you're a dude. Your rights are being subordinated to the mob, and it makes no sense at all whatsoever.
One thing they're looking at is floor-to-ceiling stalls, but there would be some hurdles.
That's going to be quite expensive. It will be. And it's not likely something that we'll be able to, even if funded, and the board does choose to allocate funds to that kind of a project, that we'll be able to do until summertime.
I hate this woman, and she's wearing the stupid feminist glasses, which makes me hate her even more. I'm sorry, this is not a sensible compromise. You didn't solve any problem. All you did was manage to make the whole Tranzez debate, the whole Tranzez argument, even stupider, which I didn't think was possible.
Milford High School students staging a walkout Friday in response to the school board's bathroom restrictions that limit the number of students who can use the facilities to the number of stalls available.
Nobody asked for this. Nobody but the few parents who complained to the school board asked for this.
The board voted on the measure on Monday after a proposal was brought forth that would change the district's bathroom policy, which allows students to use whichever bathroom aligns with their gender identity.
Now, as if this couldn't get any stupider, of course, this ended up leading to protests. So now you have students at a high school walking out of class due to the fact that they got rid of the urinals, due to the fact that they wanted to make things gender neutral, because God forbid we don't acknowledge the difference between males and females because less than 1% of the population doesn't identify as they were born.
Nobody asked for this.
I'm gonna have to disagree. Even though she says nobody asked for this, nobody wanted this, there were only a few parents that complained. I can point to, in the other news segment, that specific parent that specifically said, hey, look, let's make all the bathrooms gender neutral. This totally won't backfire and become the ultimate monkey's paw wish.
I've actually suggested a few times that we just make all of the bathrooms single use. People argue that all of your bathrooms at home are unisex and we've never had any problem.
Now, a lot of people will say, hey, look, this is all about the back and forth in the culture war. But the thing is, culture issues do matter. What happens to your kids in the public schools does matter. How they're trying to shape your kids in these institutions has a huge impact. And for people who are saying, oh, well, they had the gender identity whatever policy, and then this was done in response to the people who didn't like that policy, it has no bearing on the actual issues that the students are facing. That's also not the case. When they ask the students about the individual issues, and remember, they're all out here protesting the banning of urinals, which is such an absurd sentence, I can't believe I have to say it. They are actually students that are quite concerned about having men in the bathroom with them.
The proposal would require students to use the bathroom associated with their biological sex, male or female. While students agreed they do not like the current bathroom restrictions.
We're all a high school, and the fact that you see this many people out here right now ready to kind of stand against the school board just kind of signifies that.
Some have different opinions about what should be done to address the larger issue.
As a female, I don't think that it's safe to have males in our bathroom.
This makes perfect sense. This girl's saying, hey, look, I don't want to have males in the bathroom. It doesn't make me feel safe, makes me feel threatened, and of course, this obviously makes sense, and under most circumstances, if you saw a guy in the female bathroom, you would think that that person's a pervert, but if that guy identifies as a Tranzez, then all of a sudden, it's okay, and you're the bigot, and you need to shut up. I do think that this does create problems, even though, like I said, I think the overall issue can be resolved rather simply by just having men-women bathrooms. And then if one or two people end up going in the other one, then case-by-case basis. That's how you could deal with it. Because, of course, there are situations where the line in the girls' bathroom is exceedingly long. And I have no problem with them using the male bathroom in that instance. The idea that a law meant to prevent perverts from going into one or the other should be enforced on people who just have to go and the other one's unoccupied doesn't make any sense. And this is one of the unintended consequences that I'm concerned about when you hyper-focus on the bathroom issue. Never did I imagine that getting rid of the urinals by covering them with trash, even though they're perfectly fine and working order, would be the compromise that the progressives came up with.
Teachers, parents, and administrators tell News 9 they're happy students were able to come together peacefully.
So proud of our students, I really am.
So here you have the same feminist glasses wearing person talking about how she's so proud of the students for coming out and protesting. Again, why are you proud? They're supposed to be protesting against you. You should be upset that your entire class is being disrupted, your entire school is being disrupted due to the fact that your idiotic school board thought it was a good idea to cover the urinals with trash bags, and now you're trying to spend millions of dollars remodeling the bathroom for no reason at all whatsoever, because you might have maybe one or two people who identify as transes in your school. It's absurd. It's insane. I don't know why you're happy about it. You should be like, this is stupid. Just cut the trash bags and let the kids use the bathroom.
This is what gets the attention needed to make a decision that's best for everybody.
You know, there's a South Park episode about the South Park flag, and one of the funniest bits in that episode is when they interview everyday people and they don't say anything. They say, oh, well, you know, the generic stuff about how we can make a decision, protesting is good, but I could also see the other side of it. That's these people right here. They interview them. They had nothing to the conversation. This guy's like, well, I think the protest is out there because, you know, that's what's needed for somebody to make a decision. Will I make a decision? Do I have an opinion? Absolutely not. No way. I'm basically the Philip DeFranco of this part of New Hampshire, so I'm not going to take a stance on anything.
And
Hannah, I caught you right there. Brushing your hair back before you talk, bad habit, and it clearly shows that you don't care about the hard-hitting journalism piece that you're doing related to the school deciding to cover urinals with trash bags to make the bathrooms gender neutral, to make the transes feel more comfortable. Very serious reporting. How dare you fuss with your hair?
Buddy.
And I've reached out to every board member, and the ones who've responded say that they hear students' concerns and that this is an issue that will have to be brought up again. The next board meeting is scheduled for February 20th.
What did I tell you about getting comments from people that aren't actually useful at all? We reached out to the school board, and the school board said, you know what? We know that there's some concerns, and this is some concerns that need to be addressed. They need to have a conversation, a discussion. Let's bring the New Hampshire Philip DeFranco guy out to talk about how having a conversation about this can likely lead to a decision being made. Nobody appears to have an opinion except for some of the kids. They stuck a camera in front of their face. Everybody else is like, oh, I don't know. What do we do? We put trash bags over the urinals for reasons unknown. We might want to spend millions of dollars renovating the bathroom for no real reason because, you know, it's your taxpayer money and we don't care about you. But nobody has an opinion or decision from this point forward, but it needs to be discussed at some point in the future. Let Hannah adjust her hair. Anyway, I've given my take, my opinion, what I think should happen. I think those trash bags should be torn down and people should be liberated to use the bathroom that they choose. But I want to know your guys' take, your guys' opinion. I want to know if you're playing both sides, if you're going full DeFranco on this issue, or you actually have a thought in your brain that you want to express. Because I'm asking you a direct question. Let me know down in the comments below. If you like the video, show me by leaving a like. Subscribe for more content. Follow me on all my social medias. Support me via the support links in the description box of this video. This has been me talking about the thing that I never thought I'd talk about. Till next time.